Hello everyone, I'm George. So behind me you see Westminster Abbey, where Elizabeth II is lying in state. Forgive me, Westminster Hall, that roof there, that building dating from about 1100, built by William Rufus, and it's been the scene of many important events in British history. The trial of King Charles I, the laying in state of the Empress of India, who was the mother of Elizabeth II, and various kings and queens down the centuries. So you can see tens of thousands of mourners gathered around, and I've never seen so many police in all my life. Police from all over the realm. Some of them with the word heddlu on their uniforms, as in police in the Welsh language. And the Westminster Bridge over there is closed to vehicular traffic. It's open to pedestrians. This is Parliament Square, and I've seen all the flags of all the crown dependencies here, but they're not flying half-mast because the flagpoles are too short. I'll show you, as in, you know, the Cayman Islands, the British Virgin Islands, the Turks and Caicos Islands, and so forth, St. Helena, Gibraltar, South Georgia, the Falkland Islands, and so forth, the British Antarctic Territory. There they are behind me, and many more. And I've seen people caparisoned in their military dress uniform. So some people have got here a very long time ago with these camping chairs, be staying up overnight to have they got prime position for when it comes to the funeral procession tomorrow, when Her Britannic Majesty's mortal remains shall be processed from Westminster Hall to Westminster Abbey, which is very close by. There's not even 5 minutes marching, dead slow. So you have to get here very early indeed to get a prime spot. Some people there displaying the Canadian maple leaf flag. I think you probably can't see it in the gap between those two men. Where it is, you'd see from a different angle. So people have been queuing for 12 hours to go and see, to file past the closed casket which contains the Queen. And then across the other side of the street you do see the Canadian flag there, the British flags with Elizabeth II's face on it, and so forth. So I'm surprised we're allowed to get this close actually. So the queue to file past her coffin starts at Tower Bridge. It's about 5 miles long. It's all very well planned, good-natured, it's all orderly, and there's a psychology of queuing, of keeping it moving. People don't get frustrated. Plenty of chances to use a lavatory and buy food and drink, and so on. Keep people informed. There's some tents people are set up there to get prime location ahead of the procession tomorrow. So anyway, maybe you'll be able to see the flags if I look back that way. Can you see the flags behind me? Yes. So, and there are various temporary platforms erected for the television cameras. So there'll be a sort of live feed to various channels. Each channel is not allowed to have its own camera. You see this curious contraption here, this long arm above me, which will be has a camera which can swivel, and for camera crew here like that. So many people are walking on the grass of Parliament Square here. They'll have to fence it off to allow the grass to regrow. It's been thoroughly trampled. Next month there'll be a sign there saying do not walk on the mud, because there'll be no grass. And mercifully it's very dry at the moment, and it's just an idyllic temperature. We're having an Indian summer here, right in the heart of London. The city of Westminster was considered a separate city to London right up until the 1890s. It's still officially the city of Westminster. So our funeral service will be conducted over there behind that church. That's St Margaret's Church, the white one, which is the sort of parish church of Parliament, as they call it. And just behind it is Westminster Abbey, which was first built in 960, extensively rebuilt in the 1040s by King Edward the Confessor. Now, there you can see the flags of the various crown dependencies behind me, Montserrat and so forth. I shan't zoom in on them. So VIPs have been able to skip the queue. There's a special disabled entrance as well. The constabulary from various shires, the army, the Royal Navy, they're not the Royal Air Force, have been there helping with crowd control. And there have been lots of marshals and security guards. So the situation is very much under control. As such a crowded situation, it could really get out of hand. And there have been some state funerals which have been very disorderly, such as that of the Grand Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran in 1989, or indeed of Chairman Yasser Arafat in Palestine in 2004. So the United Kingdom does not want such highly undignified scenes, and so far decorum has been very much maintained of course people should be noisily applauding the Queen's casket as it goes by, and indeed that happened before, like in Edinburgh. So then behind me is Westminster Abbey. You can see one of the main doors, but it's closed at the moment. Usually open on Sunday for worship and indeed tourism, about £20 to go in as a tourist. But they're preparing for tomorrow. Obviously they're having sniffer dogs, security sweep and things like that. Perhaps having rehearsals for the choir and whatnot. So she will be processed, I think, the long way around Parliament Square, otherwise just be ridiculously short, before her body is then borne through the streets towards the Wellington Arch, which is about 3 miles west of her, put into a hearse and conveyed to Windsor Castle, which is 17 miles west, and then there'll be a committal service there that evening, about 6:30 in the evening for the family, and then in the evening actually put into the vault beside her late husband, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, who was a prince of the United Kingdom and Greece, who died in April 2021. So she did not long survive her spouse. Her husband lived to the age of 99. The Queen expired at the age of 96. So that is the House of Parliament, or Palace of Westminster, we sometimes call it, and it's the Westminster Hall as part of the complex of buildings, and that is where people are filing past to pay their final respects to Her Britannic Majesty. There are soldiers in their dress uniform with heads bowed at all four corners of the catafalque, police beyond that, and you mustn't come too close. The man who tried to touch the coffin, he was arrested yesterday. But apart from that, hundreds of thousands of people can file past in the utmost dignity. So the press pack from all over the world is here. And look, here's a video camera from goodness knows which country. I was giving an interview to someone from to a Spanish journalist a little while ago. So yeah, that's it. The scenes, I suppose, they're not too tristful. It's not terribly somber, but they'll be marching with heavy tread. No doubt they should be playing Marche Funèbre by Frédéric Chopin tomorrow. I was disappointed that they didn't have bagpipers playing a lament for Her Majesty the Queen as her body was processed up the Royal Mile in Edinburgh. Of course, she was half North British. She expired at Balmoral, Aberdeenshire. That was a private house in Scotland. I heard from a courtier that she had always wanted to breathe her last in Caledonia, and indeed her wish was granted. It seems to me that that very elderly people have some degree of control over when they expire, and indeed she died up there just 2 days after she appointed Liz Truss as Prime Minister. I wonder if the Queen willed herself to live through this issue of succession when she had to hand on the Prime Minister from Liz Truss to Boris Johnson, because she'd known since about the 6th of July that Boris Johnson would imminently resign as Prime Minister. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe on Patreon, and thank you for donating to me on PayPal. It's georgecallahan79@gmail.com. All right, goodbye everybody, and I'll send you footage from the final funerary procession of Her Britannic Majesty tomorrow, because it's Monday when the exequies shall be completed. Goodbye.